Hi, everybody. Welcome to your Yin Yoga practice today. So today's practice is Yin Yoga. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, Yin Yoga actually works into your joints. So around all of your joints, you have connective tissues, whether it be fascia, ligaments, and those tissues, they are what's called plastic. So they stretch really, really slowly, whereas muscles are elastic. You can stretch them and they'll bounce back. But these connective tissues that support your joints, we've got to take our time here. So today's class will be more meditative, it'll be slower, and it'll be full of longer holds and relaxed breath. So before we get started in the actual postures, we'll ground down and we'll connect to our breath. So find a nice tall seat. Sit up nice and tall. You can bring your palms to the tops of your thighs. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and relax them down your spine. Take a deep breath in. Fill up from your low belly, mid belly, top of the rib cage. Take an open mouth exhale, breath out. We'll do two more just like that. Big belly breath in. Open mouth exhale, breath out. Inhale, fill up. Open mouth exhale. And you can seal your lips and just continue to breathe at your own pace. Find a rhythm and a cadence to your breath. Find a sound that soothes you. Start to notice the consistency of your heartbeat. Start to notice the rhythm of your breath. I'll take you through a body scan. No need to change anything or adjust as we move through. Just simply notice any sensations that you feel. Start at your toes, your feet, and then work up your legs. Any tension, tightness, heaviness. Work up to the mid-belly, the hips. Check in with your heartbeat, the pace of your breath. Notice your shoulders. And check in with your arms, your fingertips. And then take a scan of your mind, the crown of your head. This practice isn't about adjusting anything or changing anything. It's simply noticing where you are and breathing some light, some breath into that space. And today's word or mantra, mindful practice, will be patience. Patience over progress. Can you start to slow down and find patience in your journey? Find patience in the progression, whether it's on your mat or off of your mat. Breathe in patience. Breathe out expectations. And inhale, fill up. Exhale to release, to melt, and to ground. Excellent. Blink your eyes open. Okay, let's start the postures. The first posture is called toe squat. So you'll turn on your mat in your space. You'll come to a tabletop position. Also before we get started, if you have a pillow or a block, anything, we're going to use some props throughout class today. So it can be a couch pillow, lumbar pillow, anything to make you a little more comfortable as we move through the postures. Okay, so let's come back to the tabletop position. You'll tuck your toes behind you. Move your props out of the way for now. Tuck your toes behind you and then start to sink your hips back towards your heels. Good. Now, if this feels okay, you can stay right here. Or if you're craving a little more sensation in the feet, you'll start to walk your palms back. And this is where your blocks can come in. So if you want some blocks on the sides, or for the most sensation, you bring your palms right on top of the thighs. And then this can be a pretty heavy sensation. So as we move through the challenge, use your breath to ground you, to release any feelings of anxiety. So a lot of the day, we move through the day and we don't really stretch our feet out. Got a lot of connective tissue that runs through the toes, the feet. So today we'll take some time to really bring some life, some energy into every part of our body. Good. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Loosen the jaw. 3 more breaths here. You are not the sensation, it's simply moving through you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. And nice and slow, we'll start to release out of it. Plant the palms, untuck your toes, and pedal them out. You'll feel kind of a surge of blood moving back into your extremities. This is a great posture for circulation and for creating ankle stability. So for every posture in yoga, we've got a counter posture. This one is ankle stretch, the counter stretch to toe squat. Untuck the toes now, and then start to sink your hips back towards your heels. You'll feel a nice stretch in the front of your legs. So you've got that muscle that runs along your shin. It's called your tibialis anterior. So if you ever have any shin splints, this is a great way to stretch them. For a little more intensity, start to walk your palms back. And then if that feels okay, you'll walk your palms even further behind you. Let me scooch forward so you can see me. Palms behind you. And then if that still feels okay, you'll start to just lift the knees slightly and rock the weight back into your elbows. So you're getting a stretch in the front of that shin muscle. Good. And we'll be here for about 30 seconds. You can relax your eyes closed. Continue to breathe here. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. And bring it back up to center. Okay. Well, let's come on to our hips. All right. Bring your feet out in front of you. We'll start to get into the hip joints, the knee joints, and then also mobility of the spine. Okay, so bring your left leg out in front, and then bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Start to turn your torso towards your left toes, and this is where we're going to set up our props. So whether you've got a block or a pillow or even both, you can kind of stack them. Let me scooch so you can see me in the frame. Okay, so props set up, blocks, pillows, whatever you've got. Now keep in mind, as we move through these postures, it's not to go as far as you can, it's patience in the progression. So you want to allow your body to start to curl and drape. And if you've got a block or a pillow, adjust the sides, adjust the height. And then you want to be able to rest your forehead down. So whether it's a pillow, block, couple books stacked on top of one another, that's fine. And remember, we're doing longer holds today. So soften the left foot out, relax it, and then find your head to your prop. You can also use your palms to make this platform a little bit higher, and then relax your forehead down. And then we'll begin with some breath to settle in. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. If you're feeling tension in your shoulders, flip your palms to face up. This will automatically reduce any tension in your shoulders. Wiggle out your left toes, a slight bend in the left knee. We're about halfway through this posture. So keep holding. If you need to take a break and come out, you can. And just kind of check in with where you're at. And then continue your breath here. So as we hold this posture, it's called half butterfly. And it opens up the connective tissues that support your knee joint and also your right hip joint. And then your spine. There's connective tissue in between each vertebrae. So every vertebrae is starting to stretch and elongate, helping with posture and also mobility in the back. Okay. Take a final deep breath in here. And a final breath out. And nice and slow, we'll start to make our way back up to a seat. Sit up nice and tall. Reach your arms open over your head. And then we'll take a slight twist towards the bent leg. So whichever leg's in front, place your palm behind you. A simple twist. Breathe in, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. Good. Bring it back to center. We're going to move into what's called deer pose now. So the leg that is extended, I'm going to say my left leg, but whichever leg is extended for you, you're going to start to shift onto the opposite hip and tuck the leg back. Okay? Now, once you've got that leg tucked back, you'll sit up nice and tall and start to turn towards the front leg. So whichever leg's in front, start to turn towards it. It's my right leg. And this is where the pillows will come in. Line up the pillows right off of your knee here. And then if you feel like you want a little more sensation, you'll bring it off of the hip. So once you've got that rotation in your spine, you'll feel a twist and then also a nice stretch in the left hip flexor. You'll start to bring yourself all the way down to your pillow. Okay? Now you can come right onto the floor as well. What the props do is they bring the ground a little bit closer to you. So once you're down, relax your ear onto the mat. All right. So the least sensation will be your right ear to the mat. If you're searching for a little bit more sensation, forehead to the pillow. Oh, there goes my mic. If you're searching for even more sensation, opposite ear to the pillow or to the mat. So you'll twist and turn all the way. I'm going to do least sensation today. Okay, relax your head down. Soften your shoulders. Bring your palms out. Relax your shoulders. Relax any tension in your jaw. Open and close your mouth. And take a deep breath in. And an expansive breath out. Nice and slow, we'll start to reverse our way out of it. Taking the movements really slow. We've been in the stretch for quite a while now. And bring it back up to a seat. And then release that back foot that's tucked. Good. Nice work. We're going to come into a full dragonfly. So we'll bring both legs out this time, both legs out in front of you. And if you've got any knee sensitivity, I'd recommend 2 pillows right underneath the kneecaps. That's going to support here. Okay. You'll bring your blocks out in front of you, a couple blocks, 1, 2, and then wiggle out the toes. And we'll start to do the same thing, kind of roll down and allow your forehead to reach the top of your block, the top of your pillows. Water bottles can work here, anything that you've got, and then rest your forehead down. You can rock your head side to side a couple times. Stay here and continue to breathe. Allow your exhales to match the rhythm and the pace of your inhales. Now you may notice one side might feel a little bit more open than the other. And that's because we'll create the balance as we move through practice today. So we'll come to the other side, but already you may notice the difference that you've created. And take the stretching nice and slow. Patience and the progression of the stretch of the progress. We're about halfway through. Palms face up to relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Take an open mouth, exhale, breath out. Start to roll yourself back up to a seat. And then we'll switch to the other side. Okay. Now move your blocks aside if you've got them for just a moment. And then start to draw your left foot into the right inner thigh, half butterfly pose. Turn your torso towards your right toes. Okay. And then sit up nice and tall. And get your props aligned here. So blocks, pillows, whatever you've got. Turn your torso towards your right toes and wiggle out your right toes. So the idea here is that we're not correcting or fixing anything. We're letting things fall naturally where they fall. Okay. And we'll start to forward fold. One side may be tighter than the other. That's okay. Good. And you may find you'll start with a higher side of the block or more pillows. And then as you get a little more progression, as you get a little more flexible, you find a little more depth. I'm going to start with my palms on the block and then maybe work my way down. Relax your toes, wiggle out your foot, find a soft bend in the knee. Remember, any sensitivity in the knee, you can always put a pillow underneath to create that bend. Mm-hmm. We're about halfway through. Continue your breath work. So a lot of the times when we think about what gives out first, it's not our muscles. It's not our muscles, it's our joints. So the benefit of this practice is supporting the joints, keeping us mobile as we get older, keeping our stability, our foundation stronger. Take about 3 more breaths in your half butterfly pose. Good. Last breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Start to roll yourself back up to a seat. Roll your shoulders back. Nice work. And we'll come into our deer pose on the opposite side. So let me just shift so you can see me. And then move your props to the opposite side. So the leg that's straight, that one's going to tuck behind you. So you're going to tuck it back. Okay. And start to turn towards your left side. So it's a rotation of the spine. So we got a lot of different range of motion in our spine today, which, as you know, it's the spine that keeps you healthy and moving. So turn towards the opposite side, the bent knee, the leg that's in front, and you'll set up your blocks. So set up the blocks. So if you're not quite as flexible, you'll go direct the blocks, the pillows right off of your knee. If you're craving a little more sensation, a little more flexible in the spine, okay with twisting, you'll build them off of your hip. So you'll build up your pillows, your blocks, and then start to crawl down. Now the ear that'll come to the mat or the pillow will be your left ear. If you're craving a little more sensation, maybe the forehead. And then the most sensation will be your right ear. So take on what feels the best to you. And then start to settle in. All right, we're about halfway through the posture. Notice if tension is creeping in your shoulders. Notice if you're clenching in your hips, your glutes. And then take that full body scan that we did in the beginning of class and soften piece by piece. Relax your feet. Relax your thighs. Allow your hips to melt into the ground. And relax your shoulders. Take a final breath in and a final breath out here. Nice and slow, we'll start to make our way back up to a seat. Good. And then nice and slow, release your legs out in front of you. Bring your palms behind your back. I'm just going to open up the hips. Let them rock right. Let them rock left. Going to get into the outer hips here. Keep working right and left. And then pause to the right. And pick up your heel, cross it up and over the leg, and keep letting the legs fall. So that top foot on top. It's going to be right on the outside of the left leg. Just for a couple of breaths here, stretching the outer thigh and also the IT band. It's a ligament that runs from your knee to your hip. Okay, so come up to a seat after your twist. Bring your palms behind you. Just rock your knees right and left here. You feel a little bit of mobility in the hip flexors. Good. Then we're going to open up the hips a little bit more. So bring one leg, doesn't matter which leg, bring it close to you, kind of parallel to the top of your mat here. And then bring the second leg right in front. We're going to open up the outer thighs now. So if that feels okay, stay there. If you want a little bit more sensation, start to stack the top foot on top of the right knee. So rather than pulling it towards you, it's right on top there. And then take your block or your pillow. Where's my block and my pillow? Aha. Got it. And then see that gap right there? You're going to put it right underneath the gap. You're going to start to feel the outer thigh stretch. So if that feels okay, more sensation, start to bring it forward, forward fold. You can rest your forearms right on top of your thighs, or you can rest your forehead all the way down to the top of your block. So you guys keep stretching, you guys keep holding. So what happens a lot throughout our day when we're sitting and our legs are kind of in that 90-degree angle, when we're sitting working at a desk, when we're driving, our hips are in flexion. So that creates a lot of tension in the hips. So we're just kind of opening up the hips, reversing that tension that gets created throughout our workday. Find the forward fold, find the depth that feels good to you. If you ever find that your breath starts to get irregular, too fast in these postures, you know to back off, dial it down a little bit. Okay. About halfway through the posture here. Breathe in. Release some tension, breath out. Final breath, inhale. And exhale. And nice and slow, start to reverse out of it. That might have been quite intense for a lot of us. And then start to release the legs. We'll bring it out in front and just shake it out. Good. One more side to go, roll out the ankles. The opposite leg now. You're going to pull that foot in towards in front of you, parallel it to the top of your mat. And then the opposite leg, the one that you haven't done yet, bring it up right in front of the shin. Now, if that feels good, stay there if it's quite a lot. If you're craving a little more sensation, you'll start to stack the foot right on top of the knee here. Now you've got that little gap. Add a pillow, add a block, add a water bottle, anything that just puts a little bit of height in between the two. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Craving a little more sensation, you'll bring the block in front of you and we'll start to forward fold. Maybe you don't touch the block. Maybe it's just a slight hinge from the hips. And then if you're here, just relax the head wherever you're at. Remember, patience in the progression. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. It takes time. And then use your breath to guide you. So think inhales to lengthen. Exhales are to find depth in the postures, to relax the body so that you can find the maximum stretch that suits you. Breathe in. Find some depth. Breath out. About halfway through, notice if there's any tension creeping in. Are you gripping the block? Are you tensing your hands, your shoulders? Relax, soften into it. Final breath in. Full breath out. And start to release out of the posture. Good. And then untuck the left leg. Bring it out. Good. I'm gonna rock out the legs a little bit here. And we're gonna make our way onto our spine. So clear out your props. Bring them off of the mat. Okay. Let me get my mic off my back. And we'll roll all the way down onto our backs now. So all the way down to the spine. Make sure you've got your props nearby. Let me scooch up a little bit so you can see me. Good. Okay. Now we're going to take a supine twist pose. So we'll start with the right leg. Start to bring the right knee towards your chest and then extend the left leg long. Okay. Now we're working the ascending colon. So where all of the nutrients comes into your body. We're tensing that up. We're going to flush it out when we twist. Take a deep breath in. Pull your knee towards your armpit. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Bring your knee across your chest. Allow it to fall to the side. Now you can use your pillow or your block. Rest your knee on top of it. A little support. Relax the bottom leg. Soft bend in the knee. Reach your right arm up. Inhale. And exhale, twist. We'll be here for some time. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Breathe in. Big breath out. Nice and slow. Start to pull your knees back into your chest. Yep. Hug your knees towards your midline. Rock right and left. Notice if you feel a difference between the side we've already done and the new side. That's the balance that we're creating. All right, let's switch it out. Bring your prop to the opposite side. So I'm going to bring my pillow to this side. Pull your left knee up and around your rib cage. Extend the right leg nice and long. Feel a nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Descending colon is working here. Take a breath in. Exhale, supine twist. Bring the knee across the chest. Let it land on top of the pillow, the block. I framed up here. Here we go. And then reach your left palm towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, supine twist. Or twisted root in Yin Yoga. Relax your bottom knee. Relax your shoulders. You may even feel or hear a couple pops in the spine. And if you're gripping with that palm, relax it down. Maybe even rest it off of the leg. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Start to bring your knees back to center. And move your props aside for just a moment. And then we'll move into a supported bridge pose. So we've done this one, I think, in the breathwork class, if you're not there yet, but we'll see it again there. Grab your block, press into your heels and lift your hips up. Slide the block right underneath the sacrum. It's at the very base of your spine. So this is a posture that turns on our parasympathetic nervous system. It slows the heart rate down. It slows the breath down. So right away, you might even feel some really deep breaths move in and out through your body. Your palms can be out to the sides or they can rest on top of your stomach. And then take about 5 deep breaths. In through the nose. Let's release a little energy out through the mouth. Good. Breathe in. Big breath out. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Continue to breathe at your own pace. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. And add one more posture in. So it's, again, back to the feet. So you start to lift one leg up towards the sky and then lift the other one towards the sky. Find a micro bend in the knees here and then roll out the ankles. Roll out the ankles right, roll them left. Good. So this is a great posture to lower the heart rate, but it's also great for the circulatory system. So it allows all the blood to drain away from your feet back to your heart. Roll out the ankles right. Roll out the ankles left. And relax. So arteries in your body that pumps blood to the extremities, and your veins bring blood back to the heart. And you actually have pumps in the lower half of your body because the extremities are so far away that work to pump the blood back to your heart. So when we do legs up the wall, it gives the veins, the pumps, a little bit of a rest. So just kind of naturally sending the blood back to the heart. Less work, more restorative. If you have any neuropathy in your feet, if you've got any of that tingling or numbness, this is a great help. This posture also reduces varicose veins. So if you've got varicose veins, this will reduce those as well. And you can always take this against a wall, put your feet up against a wall to make it even more restorative, more relaxing. Great posture to do before bed to help aid in sleep as well. Take a deep breath in. And a breath out. Nice and slow. We'll release one foot at a time. May feel a little rush. Move back into the toes, the feet, second foot. And release the block out from underneath you. So our final posture, how we end practice, is our final Shavasana or pentacle pose. Let's take one last squeeze before we enter it. Pull the knees towards the chest. Hug everything in. Tighten everything. Take an inhale. And exhale, pentacle pose. Extend the legs. No skin touching between the legs. Bring your arms out to the side. Lift your chest, lift your heart, and pull the shoulder blades underneath you. Wiggle out the toes. Now that patience that we created over these last 20, 30 minutes, we'll take a couple of breaths just to fill up with it, that patience. Take a breath in, let it fill through every cell in your body. And then exhale. Now that calm, that light that you feel. Breathe in, fill up with that. Allow it to reach your heart, the crown of your head, and release. And last one's for you. Anything you want to fill up with, breathe it in, fill up with it. And exhale, let go. We'll be here for a good 2 to 3 minutes. I'll mind the time. Just rest, close your eyes. Soak in the benefits of slowing down. Take a deep breath in. And a big breath out. Breathe in patience. Exhale expectations. Breathe in to fill up, to energize. Exhale to release, to let go, and to soften. Start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes. Rock your head side to side. Start to bring some movement back into your body. Maybe plant your feet, let your knees rock side to side. And then as slow as you need to go, we'll start to make our way up to a seat, where we'll close out the final moments of our Yin Yoga practice. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands up to your heart center. where we come full circle, patience in our progress. Not everything happens overnight. Sometimes things take time. Benefits, strengths, patience in our progress. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Bring your hands up to your third eye center. It's the space right between your eyebrows, the center of your intuition. We'll bow forward to seal in the work. Namaste. All right. Thank you, yogis. Thank you for joining me for this Yin Yoga session. Nice to see you. I'll see you soon. Thank you.